Hello, and welcome back to the Scroll of Uplift. Have you ever felt truly trapped inside your own head? That relentless loop of worry, replaying conversations from days ago, or agonizing over future scenarios that haven't even been written yet? This constant internal noise is often called overthinking, and it is a stealthy thief. It steals your presence, your joy, and your most valuable resource, your peace. You desperately want the noise to stop. You tell yourself, just be quiet, or you're worrying for nothing. But the harder you try to silence your mind, the louder it seems to scream back, creating a frustrating mental treadmill that leaves you exhausted but still standing in the same spot. We often make the mistake of treating our overthinking mind like an enemy we have to defeat with brute force or sheer willpower. We approach it with a sense of blame, as if we are failing simply by having these thoughts. But fighting your thoughts only gives them more energy. But what if there was a gentler, more effective way? What if the secret to genuine, lasting inner peace wasn't about shutting your mind down, but about learning how to redirect it with deep compassion? Today, we are going to learn how to quiet that noise. I'm going to share 3 simple, powerful questions that act as a compassionate cognitive filter, helping you stop overthinking and reconnect with the quiet, capable mind that is waiting underneath all that chaos. Before we dive into the solution, we have to pause and kindly understand the cause. The problem isn't that your mind is broken. The problem is that it is the misunderstood mind. Think of your mind as a brilliant yet overzealous protective system, a highly trained security guard. Its fundamental ancient job is to anticipate every threat, solve every problem, and prevent every potential mistake. It overthinks because, in a primal way, it thinks that if it worries about something hard enough, it can prevent it from happening. It's trying to protect you, but it's using outdated software that hasn't been upgraded since you were a child. It can't tell the difference between a real, immediate threat, like stepping off a curb into traffic, and a hypothetical threat, like the possibility of a mistake in a presentation next week. When you try to force it to stop worrying, it just escalates. It's like a child who is genuinely worried about something and is being ignored or scolded. That child, or in this case, that part of your mind, will only scream louder because it feels like its urgent protective mission is being blocked. To find peace, the very first step is to stop fighting and start listening with curiosity. The only thing the overthinking mind truly needs is clarity and a job to do. It needs a simple, non-judgmental way to pause the thought spiral and ask, is this thought here to genuinely help me right now? Or is it just stuck spinning in a worry loop? This is where our compassionate filter comes in. The key to quieting the overthinking mind is giving your thoughts a clear, compassionate destination. I call this the now or never filter. When a worry or a looping thought captures your attention, and you feel that familiar internal tension rise, the goal is to quickly determine its true purpose. This filter forces you to categorize the thought, instantly replacing endless rumination with clear decision-making. The logic is simple. 1. The now destination. Does this thought require a specific, concrete action that you can execute in the next 5 minutes? If so, the thought is productive and you act on it immediately. 2. The never destination. Is this a worry about something you can never solve in this very moment? If so, the thought is a distraction, and you acknowledge it and let it go. For example, imagine you are worrying about a bill you haven't paid. The old way is to worry about the due date, the late fees, and the consequences for 30 minutes. The now or never way is to ask, can I do something now? If yes, pull out the bill. If you can't pay it right now, the only action is to set a reminder on your phone. Done. Thought is released. The beauty of this filter is that it removes the moral pressure. There is no judgment about whether the thought is good or bad. It simply asks, is this thought actionable? This stops the endless spiral and is the fastest path back to the quiet, present mind. We need 3 simple, gentle questions to run every looping thought through this filter. Let's explore them one by one. The next time you feel that loop starting up, stop whatever you are doing. Take a deep, centering breath and gently ask your mind these 3 questions. Question 1. Is this problem actually in my control? Our mind loves to generate worries about things it has absolutely zero power to change. This is the overzealous security guard trying to control the uncontrollable. It's the ultimate waste of your emotional and mental energy. Think about the worries that consume you. The opinion of a distant family member, a past event that is already over, the weather on your upcoming trip, or even global events. You can feel the tension in your shoulders just thinking about them. And yet, no amount of internal discussion can change them. If the answer to this question is no, if it's about someone else's mood, a decision already made, or a completely external event, you simply acknowledge the thought and gently let it float away. The compassionate response here is what I call the mental handoff. You acknowledge your mind's good intentions and say silently, "Thank you for alerting me, but this is outside my sphere of influence. I release this thought back to the past or to the universe." Worrying about what you cannot control is not a plan. It is just self-inflicted punishment. Release it. Question 2. Is there a concrete, useful action I can take in the next 5 minutes? This is the now part of our filter, and it is the single greatest enemy of procrastination-fueled overthinking. Overthinking often happens because the brain identifies a large, necessary task, like, I need to clean the entire garage, or I must figure out my new budget, and then stalls because the task feels too overwhelming. It stays in the rumination stage instead of the action stage. When you ask this question, you demand a micro-action, a task so small it takes less than 5 minutes. If you're worrying about the garage, the answer isn't clean it. The answer is put on my work gloves. If you're worrying about the budget, the answer is open the spreadsheet. If your mind identifies a task and you can find a 5-minute action, you must do it immediately. This gives your vigilant, protective mind the job it craves. It stops looping and gets to work, and the momentum instantly carries you into a more productive, quieter space. If you cannot find a 5-minute action, it means the worry is too vague and you release it. You've given the mind the clarity it needed. Question 3. Am I predicting an outcome that hasn't been decided yet? This question helps you combat one of the most common and taxing forms of overthinking, borrowing anxiety from the future. When you spend an hour agonizing over how a meeting will go or how a conversation might turn out, you are paying the full emotional debt for a potential negative future that has not and may never arrive. You are creating the stress now, essentially living through a disaster that only exists in your imagination. When you catch yourself writing a detailed, negative script for the future, you are predicting an outcome that hasn't been decided yet. When this happens, your compassionate self-talk is key. Gently remind your protective mind, I am safe and present. I will deal with the future when it arrives. This phrase is a powerful act of establishing authority. It doesn't dismiss the mind's concern. It simply validates the thought, but firmly reestablishes your presence in the now. It gives your mind permission to stand down until the actual moment of decision or confrontation arrives. This compassionate self-talk returns you instantly to the calm of the present moment, where you are safe, capable, and ready for whatever comes next. The quiet mind is not a mind without thoughts. It is a mind where you are the gentle conductor directing the flow. By using these 3 gentle questions, you honor your mind's desire to protect you while teaching it a calmer, more effective way to work. Remember, the goal is not to eradicate thought, but to make sure your mind is serving you, not trapping you. It is about replacing the noisy mental treadmill with simple, compassionate decision-making. Your peace is always available, and the path to it is paved with kindness, curiosity, and redirection, not with force. If this message resonated with you, please like and subscribe to the Scroll of Uplift for more content on finding quiet strength. And in the comments below, I'd love to know, what is one thing you can decide to stop overthinking today by asking one of these 3 simple questions? Thank you for being here, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon.